Deep below St. Roch, Louisiana, all kinds of scum and villainy gathered around a central fighting ring. These costume crooks cheered as a Chinese woman in a red dress with a snake tattoo running down her entire body sauntered into the center. Despite her surroundings being as dark as a movie theater, the woman wore pitch-black sunglasses. As she grabbed a hanging microphone, a spotlight then flashed down on her.
How are we doing today, my bad boys and guilty girls? I can't hear you. That's how we do it in Roulette's house. Now, for all my favorite sinners out there, we have some absolutely breathtaking fights tonight with our main event, the dastardly Polka Dot Man versus the infamous Scapegoat. Well, before we get to the big ticket item, we have a few smaller fights. So up first is the Vicious Catman versus the Lethal Bloodsport.
Roulette quickly scampered off the stage as a man in an orange Batman-esque suit with scratch marks instead of the Bat emblem marched in behind her, with another man with tactical armor and a red bandana standing opposite of him. She quickly shuffled her way to the back room, where an old portly southern man in a purple suit with white hair stood leisurely watching a small screen recording the fight. This was a villain of Jay Garrick's era, the Gambler.
Bit of a rough night, eh?
Oh my god, tell me about it. These guys are demanding. They just don't want to see the same old fight anymore. They want to see some action.
Then, why not get some new fights, Roulette? Get some new blood for them.
Oh, what a great new idea. Not like I haven't tried that already. And the damn fighters running off with the money.
Oh, simmer down there, kiddo. Remember who holds the cards here. When I say you gotta get new fights, you need to find the blood.
Can it, Steven? Seriously, no one cares about those low-level losers beating the snot out of each other. They never will. We need something big if we want to draw in the crowds. And their butts. We can think of something better.
There's always those daily arenas out of town. Make it like a game of survival. Let's find each other for money, more like a game show of life and death. Change of scenery never hurt no one. Gotta keep things fresh, especially back in my day.
No one wants to see the same old fight in the same arena. We need not only a change of scenery, change of strategy, but something else. Maybe someone else. We need a new fighter, and soon.
Oh? Where you figuring to get these new fighters from, then?
Roulette leaned forward and picked up a newspaper from the Daily Planet, a wicked glee blooming in her heart. On the front page, the headline stated, "A new legacy. Mr. Terrific named new leader of the Justice League International." Upon reading, her eyes bulged behind her sunglasses and her jaw tightened. A grin spread on her face. She found her next contestants.
Oh. Leave that to me, Gambler. Leave that to me.
In the JLI Embassy's monitor room, Mr. Terrific, as stoic as ever, was watching over all 30 monitors, observing extranormative phenomena across the entire world.
Knock, knock.
Come in, Flash.
And good morning to you too, Michael. I made the team some coffee. I got the sugar and creamer ready if you need them.
Thank you, Flash. Leave it on the desk, please.
So, what you doing?
Working.
On what?
I'm monitoring global situations. Sensors indicate a possible Starro infestation in South Korea. There's been reports of a man-eating shark humanoid detected on social media sites in the Honolulu general region. As we speak, I'm observing Rainbow Raider blinding the security guards of Flash Museum in order to attempt a robbery in Central City.
Good lord. We should go handle those.
No need. I have the situations handled. I issued orders to Aquaman to handle the Starro situation. The Honolulu reports is being actively looked at by Animal Man, and Kid Flash is en route to handling the Rainbow Raider issue. I've been coordinating with other local heroes across the world to handle the small issues so we won't be distracted. That way, when something big hits, we have all hands on deck.
Well, alright. So then, why don't you come on down and have breakfast with the team?
Is it needed?
Well, no, it isn't exactly necessary, but since you took over the team, I've been the only member you've actually talked to. Look, I can't be the only member you have a rapport with. It would help build morale if you would actually bond with them. You know, not just me.
The team can function with or without me. I can trust them to handle themselves. The monitor system itself can't.
Really, now? Michael, I would like you to meet Skeets.
Greetings, Mr. Terrific II.
Hey.
As I'm sure you already know, like the rest of Booster's tech, Skeets is from the future and possesses advanced gizmos that can work the monitor system. Single-handedly.
Skeets flew over to the computer system, small cables shooting out from his little body and connecting to the main terminal, embedding his programming into the mainframe.
I am now acting in 150% more efficiency at monitor duty than you were. You may take a break now. I detect you may be tired. Remember to seek fluid intake and get some rest, Mr. Terrific II. I don't need rest.
And with that, there is now not a single excuse for you not to talk to the team.
Don't test me. I can come up with 11. Just give me a few minutes.
Michael, you can't be a leader without knowing the team. That goes beyond knowing who they are as heroes.
Oh, trust me. I know the team. Also, stop calling me by my first name, Flash.
Really? Because again, you haven't spoken to any of them. You'd understand why I keep using your first name if you did. It's just a way to give these kids a little comfort.
Okay. You want to know what I know? All right. Guy is an angry man who knows more than he lets on, but not enough to be useful. Ralph might have been one of the best detectives in the world, but his growing inferiority complex is holding him back from using it effectively. Blue Beetle is wasting his genius because he can't figure out what he's supposed to be. Booster Gold seems like a money-hungry jackass, and from what I've seen, that's not wrong. Fire is overzealous and has to derive all her confidence from others, while Ice has the potential to be stronger than Superman, but she doesn't embrace it in service to other people's egos. Then there's Vixen and Rocket Red. They're the two most qualified people on the team, but one of them tries to act like they're above the team to give themselves credibility, while the other is genuine. He's also a genuine doofus stumbling around in a walking tank. So there, is that enough to prove that I know the team, Jay?
How do you...
Not only that, but I have recognized that I need to understand the team to lead them. So I had an interconnected network of T-spheres.
What?
They're floating multi-tool drones linked to my mind. Think tennis ball-shaped Wayne phones. Anyways, I had them set to record the team at all times so I can learn their strengths and weaknesses to formulate strategies.
And you're doing all this without the team's knowledge. This isn't what a real leader does, Michael. It's a breach of trust.
It's for professional purposes. It's not like these things are hard to find. They aren't hidden. If they bothered to look, they'd see them. Hell, Booster tried putting a slice of bread on one of them, thinking it was a toaster.
Still, Michael, you don't just need to know the team needs to know you.
I don't see why that...
Looks like Skeets found something.
Indeed I have, the First Flash. Uh-oh, it looks like the Royal Flush Gang is attacking the Coast City Central Bank. They look pretty tough. Have any ideas on who to send? I'm pulling up a database of all active superheroes within a 10-mile radius.
Direct Guardian and Commander Steel to handle...
Belay that order, Skeets. Michael, look at me. If you think your leadership methods are so great, prove it. It's time to take the field and lead.
Fine.
Michael summoned one of his T-spheres to his hand and spoke into it, broadcasting all over the embassy.
Justice League, listen up. We have a mission, calling all leaguers to the bug. Be there in T-minus 30 seconds.
Race you there.
The entire team got into Blue Beetle's flying hovercraft, the Bug, where Ted would take control of the ship as the rest settled in.
Alright, is everybody buckled in? Okay, terrific. Where are we headed?
Coast City Bank. We need to get there ASAP.
You got it, Captain. Course plotted for Coast City Bank. Warp drives online. Preparing ship for maximum warp.
So, new leader man. What do you do again? What's your deal?
What do you mean, what do I do?
I mean, like, what are your powers, dude? I can't clue you in just from the weird-looking mask and jacket. Fair, something about teas?
I am the third smartest man in the world.
Yeah, we knew that crap already. What do you actually do?
I utilize hyper-advanced multi-tools I made, called T-spheres, to handle the rest.
Wait. Hold on. So you're telling me your power is balls?
They're spheres.
Balls!
Spheres.
They look like balls to me. Should have called yourself Mr. Balls. Let me see if I can catch one of them.
Say that one more time. Do absolutely anything to them, and I will knock that stupid haircut of yours back to where it came from.
You mean Baltimore?
Oh, Lord, guys, stop provoking him. We don't need a fight right now.
With a glint from his ring, Guy bubbled a T-sphere, rattling it within the green bubble with delight. The rest of the team was quiet. Terrific winced.
Your power. You know what I'd call it?
And with one strong punch, Mr. Terrific rocketing his fist right into his stomach, Guy fell to the ground with the wind knocked straight out of him. The construct's green light fizzed away into the air, but not before banging into the side of the bug, knocking over a houseplant sitting on the dashboard.
One punch! One punch!
1, 2, 3, and the haircut is down for the count.
Who brought the houseplant with us?
Guy!
Tora rushed to Guy's side and made a small chunk of ice in her hand, pressing it against Guy's chest to ease the swelling from the impact.
Mr. Terrific, how could you? You jerk! He could have been hurt!
The cold itself started to make him cough.
Thanks. You didn't... I need to... Coulda... Just coulda said...
No. Don't speak. It's okay.
If you ever pull that shit on me again, I will put you down on your stubborn ass a second time.
Fine.
Are you okay? Do you feel anything broken? Oh, can you move?
Yeah, son, are you alright?
I'm fine. I just need to catch my breath is all. I'm Guy friggin' Gardner. I've gotten way worse than this before breakfast. Don't hover over me like that next time. Jeez.
What the hell was that, Terrific?
Leadership.
You can't just punch our teammates when you can't keep them in line.
Color me a shade disappointed, Michael.
Not cool, Mr. Terrific. If you think about laying hand on friend Gardner again, I will show you full might of Rocket Red.
Then let this serve as a reminder to all of you. What happens if you disobey orders?
You remind me of Russian president. He has no friends either.
The rest of the bug ride to Coast City was quiet, save for snickering from Ted, B, and Booster. Dimitri, Tora, and Jay kept trying to make sure Guy was okay, much to his chagrin. Eventually, the bug landed on a building near the gang's robbery. The card-themed supervillain gang conspired below, gloating over the money and loot they had in hand.
We in the right spot, King?
Just as the boss ordered, Queen.
Let's get bored waiting.
They'll be here soon. Trust me, big guy.
Shove it, 10! Look! It's that stupid beetle guy's weird car!
Just as Roulette said. Now, cue the script, boys. And girls. Now, we must fool these JLI curs, so bring your best acting.
Back on the neighboring building, the League exited the bug onto the building's rooftop. Mr. Terrific took point to analyze the situation.
Okay, team, listen up.
Nah, you shut up and listen up. When we hit the ground, I'm charging him. All I'm asking is that the rest of you keep out of my way.
You are not taking...
Too late. I'm already walking.
Before Mr. Terrific could say, "Guys, stop!" Guy had already flown off the building.
I'll take the right flank.
I'll hit from the top. Superhero landings are in right now.
No one move until I...
By the time Terrific said that, Booster was airborne while Mari channeled the powers of a snake and slinked into the shadows.
Well, looks like we're doing it live, huh, boss?
You can say that again.
Oh, look! It's the B-list Justice League.
Hey, listen here, lady. I never saw you take on the other.
Gardner, engage, don't monologue.
Can you shut up already? I don't take orders from some loser with anger issues. Oh!
The robotic Hulk, Ace, launched a punch at the Green Lantern, throwing him into a wall.
Guy! Oh, you mean man.
Ice gathered her power in her hands before launching a barrage of ice daggers at the robot, barely affecting it at all.
Ace feel tickle.
Ace raised his hands, ready to crush the Nordic woman under his massive fists, but Fire saw this and flew in, instead taking the assault forward. Ace raised his arms again, but before he could make a second hit, Jay ran in and grabbed Beatrice and Tora, bringing them to a different part of the fight.
Don't worry, I got you. Focus on King and Queen, girls. Me and Ralph will handle Ace.
Damn right we will.
The elongated man leapt in and stretched his body around the behemoth, restraining it while Jay delivered hundreds of punches per second into its hull. After years as one of Barry's closest allies, if there was anyone who knew how to work well with a Flash, it was Ralph.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
Hope so.
Or so Ralph thought. They were in fact not thinking what the other was thinking. Ralph loosened his grip on Ace to stretch into a slingshot, while Jay ran away to try and make a cyclone, leaving Ace unattended.
Ace thought he was down.
The robot grabbed the elongated man, using him as a whip to knock Jay into a neighboring building. Meanwhile, Dimitri and Mari fought against Ten and her intangibility powers.
As your Superman says, up, in the way!
Wait! Dimitri! No!
Rocket Red flew towards Ten with wildly high speeds. Ten then phased through Rocket Red, and with a grin, going solid to grab the collar of his suit from behind her to throw back at Mari, sent both her and Dimitri crashing into a dumpster. On the other side of the battle on the bank steps, Booster flew up, then landed in front of Jack, striking a heroic pose reminiscent of the Man of Steel.
Surrender, evildoer!
God, you're such a cornball. But hey, you good at catching?
Well, actually, I played footweight, huh?
When Booster caught it, it released a pressurized cloud of green gas that made Booster faint with a thud.
Booster!
Hey, Queen, can you just hurry this crap up? Coming right up.
The Queen of Clubs threw a metal sphere in the air, gassing the entire area, causing everyone to faint. When everyone came to, they were in different places, but they all awoke to the two same sensations: an intense blinding light and a voice over loudspeakers.
Hello, everyone. I know how bored my clientele gets with these past few fights, and you know how much Roulette loves their customers, so I've upgraded from Z-list loser villains and down their luck superheroes to the motherfucking Justice League. Oh, and that's not all either. I provide the goddamn best for my people. So instead of the same old boring rings you've seen, we've upgraded, baby. Now we have 3 new challenges for these jerks to do.
Roulette hit a clicker on the head of her snake-shaped staff, and 3 different arenas lit up behind her. One was like an old game show set, one was a classic octagon ring, and one was a glass-caged miniature jungle.
Of course, for the fans of the usual brutal basedown, we have the classic arena where Fire, Ice, and Booster Gold will fight endless waves of killer robots. Over here, we have my special-made jungle greenhouse where Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific, and Blue Beetle get hunted by the world's largest dangerous animal. And over here is my favorite game, which I call the Wheel of Death, where you can see our favorite Flash has to keep running so that the big old wheel doesn't stop on Elongated Man, Rocket Red, or Vixen, turning them into Pancake League.
It is American Game Show host, Alex Trebek!
What? No, you moron. I'm the entertainer of the underworld. I'm the death dealer. I'm Roulette. And this is my house.
Guy, Terrific, and Blue Beetle all woke up inside the miniature jungle encaged within a glass dome. They all felt groggy, but mainly fine.
Beetle, check your belt now. I'm missing my spheres. No telling what they took from you.
Just my communicator and my car keys. That makes sense. They wouldn't want us reaching out for help.
About you, Gardner. Are you missing?
As Terrific looked over at the Green Lantern, he saw him in a ratty t-shirt underneath a worn vest paired with dirty jeans and no ring on. He was still waking up, so he hadn't yet realized his predicament. Until he did.
Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. They got my ring.
Oh, I thought no one but you could take it off.
I also thought that. How did they... Shit! I can't figure out how they could have done it. Crap, what am I gonna do now?
Well, looks like these superheroes are awake. Now we can finally reveal what we plan to do with these fools. In approximately 1 minute, we'll release, drumroll ladies and gents, Karshan the Shark!
Who?
Oh, great. Some kind of weird shark guy Hal fought once or twice. That Aqua guy fought him too, I think.
Oh, he's just a stupid shark man. We can take him out, boys.
I read up on his files today. The important thing Guy failed to mention is that Karshan is a psychic. That's the main issue. The three of us have no counter against that. He must have mind-controlled Guy to take his ring off.
Oh, we got it around his neck like a piece of jewelry. Them shark couldn't figure out how to use it. Good.
Indeed. Now remember to run plenty for me. Your fear and adrenaline will make your meat taste delicious.
Ted, grab some sticks and begin sharpening them. Lay out your tools so we know what we're working with.
Got it, boss.
Hey, what about me?
Stand there, don't mouth off, and try not to die.
Oh, I just had it with you. What is with your stick up your ass? You got a problem with me joking around and being more of a leader than you, balls man?
My issue is with incompetent loudmouth buffoons like you who think being annoying stands for leadership.
Guys?
Oh, like you're all high and mighty, Mr. Terrific. All you do is yell at us and get so mad you slap us around. Try getting your act together and lead rather than screaming and throwing a tantrum for once in your stupid life.
Guys?
This is just brilliant, coming from the same man who couldn't take a basic order to save his life, or, in this case, not get us captured.
Guys!
What, Ted?
Both of the arguing men looked over at Ted with anger and annoyance before their faces fell as they saw the 7-foot-tall shark humanoid wrapped in a purple singlet hold up and choke Ted with a single fist. To top it all off, his shark head was pockmarked with 2 glowing orange eyes atop an open maw, slowly going over Ted's head.
Scratch that, I'm going for the waist.
I'll go for the head.
Guy dropped and rushed towards the shark man, a normal man with pure vigor and determination in his eyes, grabbing Karshan by the waist and pushing with all his might to move the monster. He very much didn't, but his attempts were admirable. Terrific grabbed one of Blue Beetle's grapple guns off the ground, firing it at a tree and using the momentum on the cable to swing and kick Karshan in the face, which also didn't work.
You puny humans think you can win against me. Ha! You are as dumb as you are tasty. My hide is thick as steel.
Can someone please hand me one of my flashbangs right now? Oh god, oh god, oh god, please, just one flashbang, please, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god!
Mr. Terrific quickly ran over, grabbed one, and threw it at Blue Beetle's hand.
Oh my god, thanks! Close your eyes!
Both Mr. Terrific and the Blue Beetle closed their eyes, but Guy and the shark didn't, causing temporary blindness.
Yeah, what's happening? Why can't I see anything?
Do you not hear me? And close your eyes?
Karshan reached around blindly, both in anger and in sight, trying to find Terrific again, but grabbed the disoriented Guy and brought him to his mouth. Over in the game show set, Jay Garrick was forced to run in a giant hamster wheel connected to another classical game show wheel. Strapped to the checkerboard wheel were Elongated Man, Vixen, and Rocket Red. Ralph had quadrupled the restraints to keep him from stretching out of them, a veritable cocoon of metal.
And this one's my favorite. Bring in some good old theatrics. This one is what I call the Wheel of Death. Whenever Flash slows down, even for a second, the wheel will shock someone at random. But if it ever stops, the wheel will grind to a halt, and whomever the ticker of the game lands on will die by electrocution. We're serving up Bride Leaguer today.
I love the fortunate wheel, Betsy.
Is he okay?
He thought I was Trebek earlier.
I think the spinning is making the blood rush to his head. Joke's on you, though, since my flexibility applies to my veins as well. I can regulate my blood flow. You can't put restraints on that! I can stay up here and yap at you all day.
The spinning is making the...
Why is he talking so slowly?
Okay, to speed things along, when knocked unconscious, Vixen's totem triggered the powers of the animal most useful to protect the body in its current situation. The animal with the best resistance to being strapped to a spinning wheel would be the animal with the most stable inner ear fluid. Unfortunately for Mari, this animal was the three-toed sloth. And without her consciously triggering the powers herself, she could not filter out the downsides of being such a creature.
Anyways, every minute the Flash speed is raised by 10 miles per hour until he can't run anymore, and then one of you fries. Have fun, I have some crap to prepare.
Okay, what's the plan, Jay?
Don't worry, Ralph. This isn't my first hamster wheel. It's actually my sixth. I can bust this out of this lickety-split. I just have to aim this right.
What do you mean this isn't your first hamster wheel?
Jay removed his helmet while running and aimed it towards the gears connecting his wheel to theirs. He hurled it like a frisbee and it lodged itself in the crankshaft, and for a brief moment the wheel stopped. But when the wheel stopped, it sent a shock straight through Elongated Man.
Oh, dear God, what the fresh hell was that?
Ralph's metal cocoon also conducted the electricity, amplifying how much he felt. As Ralph was shocked, a little plywood standee of the gambler emerged from the floor and with a screw joint started waving his finger condescendingly, and the gears turned harder and the wheel spun again, but now even faster.
You ain't gonna weasel your way out of this one, Swifty.
Sorry, Ralph. Looks like Roulette's got a partner. One I know all too well.
Who the hell is this guy?
It is Chicken Man! I salute you, Colonel!
It's the Gambler, the villain of the first Mr. Terrific. This guy's trouble.
There was a first one?
He was a part-timer on the JSA. Terry was all about fair play, and people like Gambler swindle millions from good people, just for a lark. Never taking him down. That's one of Terry's biggest regrets.
I rescind salute, Colonel. I go to Chick-fil-A now.
Don't worry, folks. I'll figure something out. I hope.
In the audience, there was another one of the JSA's old villains watching from the stands. The Shade watched on from the shadows, enamored by the Flash's plight.
Oh, I'm so glad you talked me into doing this, Stephen. Such entertainment! I get to watch Jay struggle. You ain't watching him struggle, Dickie. Tonight, the Flash runs his final steps. They all say that. He'll get out of this eventually. I'm just waiting to see how he does it. Want to put this to a wager? Game on. And while we're at it, fetch me some absinthe. I'm parched.
Fire, Ice, and Booster Gold all stood waiting for what was going to happen to them.
For enjoyers of the classic entertainment, we have our Brawl Until You Fall fight, where these three dumbass fight wave after wave of robots until they pass out. For those of you in the audience who want to bet on when these heroes will fall, use the provided devices.
In the stands, the supervillain clientele of Roulettes cheered. One particular larger gentleman with a magenta ponytail cheered louder than everyone else put together.
Yeah! Booster Gold is going down in the first round. I'd bet $2 million on it.
Booster, who is that?
That's Blackguard, some guy I used to fight. He sucks. Every time I fought him, my ratings went down. Eventually, I just broke his legs to keep him out of my hair for a while.
I forget how much of a scumbag you are before you open that dumb mouth of yours.
Hey, a living's a living, right?
Can we concentrate? The robots are coming.
The trio all prepared as around 3 robots came out. They were very easily dispatched by the three, Fire and Ice even high-fiving.
That was easy. He barely broke a sweat.
And all while I watch Blackguard lose his life savings.
Don't pat yourself on the back too soon. This is only round 1.
Round after round would pass. The once confident trio would become bruised, battered, and beaten by wave after wave of robots. Booster went out in round 10, Fire in round 29, but Ice lasted 52 rounds using her amazing abilities to hold the swarm off. But even a Nordic ice goddess can get tired. And as she was waning, 450 robots swarmed around her. She stood tall and confident, though her body was battered and bruised.
Is this all you got?
Back in the mechanized jungle, Guy was about to get his head bitten off by a mutated psychic shark man. But then Mr. Terrific used one of the sharpened sticks as a makeshift javelin, throwing it through the shark man's shoulder. This caused him to drop Guy, who scrambled to his feet and grabbed one of the sticks.
Hey, good aim, Terrific.
Thanks. Now we need to stop thinking like 3 guys and start thinking as a team to take him out.
Any known weaknesses?
No. But you 3 do.
What was that supposed to mean?
And before he could say another word, the world around Guy fizzed away into a dark, silent room with no windows or doors.
What the hell is happening? Hey, Terrific, is this one of the shark guy's powers? Terrific! Beetle! Can either of you hear me?
Shut the hell up, you weasel. Stop relying on everybody else like a parasite.
What? Who else said that?
God, you can never figure it out, huh? Always a damn numbskull. Could never use your brain right like your brother.
Oh, and there it is. Hi, Dad.
The minute that Guy realized it was his father, he began striking a wall of this dark room over and over again, trying to run, but the wall was harder than anything he had ever felt.
Oh, of course you can't break the wall. You're not strong. You're not tough. You're not Mace. You never can be. You never will be. You're still that crybaby kid who hides in the closet away from a good beat.
Shut up, just shut up! For crying out loud, I don't need to hear this right now. You damn dirty... Oh, I see. Hey, is this you, Carson? This psychic crap Terrific was talking about, huh?
Oh, the big baby thinks he figured it all out. La-dee-da. For all the good that gives you still ain't the hotshot you keep lying to yourself into believing you are.
See, I know you feast on our fear, so you're trying to terrify us. You're putting us through hell because you want us to taste better. You fought Green Lanterns before, so you probably heard this already, but our whole deal is the ability to resist great fear. Except I ain't like the rest of the Lanterns. They may feel a smidge of it, but Guy Gardner has no fear. I don't fear my pops, I hate him. Just like I hate you!
Guy gave the wall one last punch, shattering the shark man's illusions, masking the real world.
Looks like Sharkbait over there is still in Teddy and Terrific's minds. So his body's all mine!
Guy then looked up and saw one of the Jumbotrons set up near the ceiling of the house, showing Ice losing in her fight against the robot horde.
Oh God, Tora. Okay, well, what do? Do I save Tora? Do I save Blue and Mr. T? I couldn't do any of this without my ring. Think, Gardner, think. I gotta figure out how to do this. I have to think like Bats, I have to think like Terrific. Do I? I think I don't gotta. That's it! I gotta think like a Green Lantern.
Guy stopped and rose his hand in the air, facing the shark. He closed his eyes and focused, beginning to utter the oath.
The brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. To those worship evil's might, brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. To all who worship evil's might.
As Guy recited the oath, the ring around Karshan's neck began to glow and gravitate towards Guy's hand.
In brightest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. To all who worship evil's might, beware my power, Green Lantern's life!
Guy concentrated every last ounce of willpower in his body and practically willed his ring back onto his finger from hundreds of feet away. The ring emitted a green pulse over his body that reassembled his suit from pure light.
Okay, now I gotta focus on Tora or the boys. Crap, I can only save one, and I gotta figure it out fast. On one hand, Tora's being swarmed by an army of robots, but on the other hand, this shark guy is rolling around the boys' minds. I gotta trust Blue and T to work this crap out themselves. Tora needs my help more. Maybe I can help them out a little, though.
Guy raised his ring to his face and closed his eyes, focusing his willpower to get inside their minds. Not enough to save them, but implant a suggestion to help the pair break free. Guy then blasted through the glass cage and quickly flew off to help Tora. He then landed in the octagon, and right before she was fully overwhelmed, Guy created a bubble force field construct around her, saving Tora.
Hey, Frosty, you okay?
I've been better.
Mr. Terrific woke up on the bridge. It was not
Okay, well, it's time to get up. Back to back, you and me. We'll face them all together. Let's kick some ass!
Huh? How did I get here? Oh, not here.
And that's when he saw her. His late wife.
Michael? What are you wearing? What's going on?
Paula?
Hi, Michael. Where am I?
The bridge. I was gonna do something very stupid here a long time ago.
Why?
You died, along with our son. One stupid random car wreck. I couldn't stop it. God knows I've thought about every possible way. I've run tests and numbers, and it was unavoidable. It wasn't fair. And without you, I didn't know what life meant anymore. If there was even one. So I came to this bridge to not have to learn what a life without you was like. Then someone came. A cop named Jim Corrigan came and sat next to me. We just talked. He told me about the story about a man I'd never met, but somehow I felt like I knew. Terry Sloan. Just a man, not a wizard, or an alien, just a man. The kind of man who saw the world's sharp edges and wanted to file them down so that everybody had a chance for fair play. He lived his life by those words. Not winning at all costs or crushing the other guy. Using his strengths and genius to make it so his fellow man had the same chances he had. He did not treat them as weapons to abuse, but tools to lift others up. So I took his name, Mr. Terrific. Not because I was egotistical, but because I needed to remind myself of his standards. I poured my rage into purpose, into something that you would be proud of. I promise that no one will ever live in an unjust and unfair world. Fair play is about making sure no one ever ends up on this godforsaken bridge and wants to jump off it ever again.
You're being silly, Michael. You're no Mr. Terrific. You were never cut out for this life. Come on, be with me. All the pain, the pressure, it can end. Just step forward.
For a moment, the memories of his time of being a hero left his mind. All he wanted was to be with his wife. But then, he looked at the water under the lake and saw it filled with floating candles lit with a green flame. This particular glow associated in Michael's mind with a certain bowl-cut jerk, and it snapped him out.
As nice as that be, you're just my memory of Paula, and you look just as gorgeous as I remember. But I am a hero. This is my life now, until Mr. Terrific is no longer needed.
He hugged his lost love, tears rolling down his eyes.
I love you, and I always will.
The illusion of Paula and the rest of the bridge scene faded around him, and his T-spheres returned to him. Until now, Karshan had also been disrupting his mental link to them. But beyond this victory, the Blue Beetle was still in his own mind. When he woke, he was in a cemetery at night. He was colder than anyone had any right being.
What? Where am I was just fighting a shark, man, and now How did I... Okay, Teddy. Figure out your surroundings. Graveyard. And tall buildings... Oh! The Daily Planet building! So we're in Metropolis. And there's a statue of... Barry Allen. Oh. We're in Valhalla.
Then Ted looked down at the grave in front of him with the words, Daniel Garrett, the Blue Beetle, the best of us.
Oh. Hi, Dan. It's been a minute since I've been here. I know I haven't brought flowers in a while either. I'll be sure to grab some next time.
Of course you didn't bring anything.
What? Who said that?
Makes sense you wouldn't bring anything that would require thought. We all know Ted Cord doesn't have those.
What the hell is going on?
From Garrett's grave, the original Blue Beetle clawed himself out of the dirt, freeing himself from his coffin. As Garrett came from the ground, Ted saw his skin covered in burns, deeply scarred, his fingertips whittled to the bone. The sickening smell of charred flesh entered Ted's nose.
What the fuck?
You're no hero, Theodore. You're worthless. You don't deserve my name.
Now hold on. You chose me back on Pago Island to carry on the Blue Beetle legacy.
I didn't choose you because you deserved it. I chose you because you were there. You were the one who dragged me there.
No, that's not...
Oh, yes it is, you numbskull. The only reason I would choose a failure like you is if I had no other choice. You were the one who killed me.
Ted began to shrink beneath his own insecurities as Dan's mountainous corpse towered over him.
That can't be true. You said you trusted me. You said I deserved it, that even if you didn't die, you would have given it to me.
Even the Scarab didn't want you. You didn't reject it. It rejected you. It can smell what you are. You are a total and utter failure.
No, I can't be. You're wrong. No.
As Ted continued to panic, he quickly looked at the city with all of its multicolor lights unifying into one color, sparkling against the grass. Green. Somehow, he didn't know how, Ted knew this was Guy.
You know, I still kind of believe that. The whole I'm not worthy crap. Especially when I think about you. But here's the thing. You're not Dan Garrett. Dan Garrett was kind. He was brave, and he'd rather have the title die with him than pass it on to someone unworthy. And he chose me. Now, I have spent a long time thinking that I had to prove myself to everyone. To live up to you, to Scarab, to the idea of the Blue Beetle. But I don't need anybody's approval. I never did. Dan believed in me, and for the first time in my life, I think I do too. I am Blue Beetle. Not because I'm perfect, not because I'm some golden legacy, and certainly not because of the damn Scarab. But because I'm Ted Cord, and every day I wake up and I make the conscious choice to do what I know is right. And that's enough. Now get out of my head!
Suddenly, he woke up, running in using his grapple to hook onto Karshon's dorsal fin and retracted it to send him into a flying kick straight into his jaw, knocking out the shark once and for all. At the game show set, Jay was running faster than he'd gone in a while just to keep the wheel spinning. He'd tried a myriad of ways to get his teammates free. He'd tried running backwards. Ralph got shot. He'd tried sending a cyclone towards the other wheel. Ralph got shot. Jay even tried phasing through the wheel. Dimitri briefly got shocked, but then Ralph got the rest of it. The whole time, the gambler's standee kept wagging his finger and taunting.
For the love of God, Jay, please stop trying to save us.
Gotta do something.
I don't think I can, Vixen. I've pulled every trick in the book. The gambler planned for everything. This game was rigged from the start.
Save us, motherfucker! I promise to stay and loot the pets!
I'm not sure how much longer I can keep this up. I'm sorry.
Back in the stands, the gambler laughed at Jay's anguish and Ralph's suffering.
What's so funny, Sharp? Look at him all weeping, Dickie. That old man's gonna croak on that wheel. That wasn't the game. Your girl said only one of them on the wheel had to die. Well, I lied, stupid! What, you ought to just kill one of them and let the rest go? Ah! Once his feet stop moving, his heart will too. That wheel's gonna shock him till he flatlines. After that, I'll just fry the rest of them. Then you're gonna pay me a hefty sum. It's what you get for betting against the house. Is that so?
Jay looked to his fellow leaguers, Ralph badly zapped, Mari operating at 1 second a minute, and Dimitri still not fully knowing what was going on. He closed his eyes and felt his legs begin to slow down, but the wheel only got faster. Jay looked to his left and saw his own shadow rise from the ground. It returned his helmet to him, and the shadow tipped his own. Powered by another, the Flash escaped the wheel and broke Dimitri, Ralph, and Mari off of the other wheel. He then looked up in the stands and noticed his favorite frenemy.
You wretch! You cheated! Did I? Forgive me. I wasn't aware of the rule. Oh, you're getting it now, Blackie.
The gambler revealed a Derringer pistol from his sleeve and aimed towards the Shade's gut. But the gambler was then knocked out by Jay, hurling his helmet at his face, then bouncing off it back to his hand.
I can't die, but thank you for preserving the suit.
Until next time, Dickie.
Until our next joust, Flash.
An angry mob of spectators then swarmed the Shade to punish him for spoiling their fun, but the crowds cast a large shadow and the Man of Darkness smugly slipped into the night.
Okay, fellas, let's go help Guy out. Go, team, go!
Let's do it.
Hold on, I got this.
Ralph then moved Vixen's arm to her totem and clasped her hand around it.
Think of a cheetah.
Thanks. Let's get moving.
Little also say religious filthy.
Everyone met up at the Octagon. Fire and Booster woke up as Mr. Terrific helped them up.
Looks like we're all assembled. Now we have to take Roulette and her whole operation out.
Sounds like a piece of...
Then, panicked over the loudspeakers, Roulette yelled,
Whoever takes out all these justice bozos gets all the betting money.
Without a second thought, hundreds of supervillains jumped out of the stands and ran towards the lead.
Now let's hope this goes better than the battle with the Royal Flush Gang.
The villains hit the ground like a tidal wave. Rainbow Raider, Fireworks Man, Sportsmaster, Bug-Eyed Bandit, Kite Man, and more. The whole bargain bin buffet.
All right, everybody form a tight perimeter. Cover your blind spots. Focus fire on the closest threats.
Half the team immediately ignored him. Guy rocketed forward, throwing haymakers. Booster tried some flashy karate moves he saw in a movie once, while Fire and Ice argued over whether to go left or right.
No, don't break formation. Beetle, you're too far. Fire, Wait for Ice.
Terrific's voice was drowned in the chaos. Villains poured in from all sides. Vixen was blinded by Fireworks Man. Rocket Red charged headlong into an edge made of kite strings. An elongated man was literally tied into knots by the bug-eyed bandit. Booster Gold then took 2 baseballs to his... baseballs.
Why?
This isn't how this is supposed to go.
His words faltered as his T-spheres spun erratically, their connection flickering with his rising panic. Breathing quickened, his vision tunneled.
They're losing. I'm losing. I can't.
Hey! Eyes on me, Terrific!
God, what the hell are you?
Trying to run this like it's the frickin' Justice League of America. Newsflash, genius. We ain't the Justice League of America. We're a bunch of loudmouths, screw-ups, and hotheads. They tell us to stand in line, we're gonna wander off and punch a wall. Remember the jungle? Think about why that plan didn't work. Look at who you're working with.
That's exactly the problem.
Nah, this is the team. You wanna win with us? Stop trying to make us some we ain't. Work with the chaos. Don't try to fight against the flow. Let us run wild, but point us in the right direction. You're a good leader, Terrific. Back in that jungle, I can finally see that. But you gotta learn how to lead this bunch. Play to our stupid strength, turn the mess into a weapon. Let the impulses take control for a bit, yeah?
Heard the chaos, instead of stopping it.
Bingo, boss. Now deep breath and give us the call.
All right, listen up. Booster, B, set everything on fire you can without hitting Tori. Tori, freeze the ground under the largest clusters. Vixen, use some of that spider magic to untie Ralph. Then, you, Dimitri, and Ralph, body block anybody that gets through. Jay, pull hit and run stunts to keep them guessing. Guy, you're with me. We can go for roulette.
And this time, the League moved. The chaos was still there. Booster cackling mid-fireball, Ralph tripping villains who were then frozen to the ground by ice. Then Dimitri and Vixen charged through them like rhinos. It was chaos, but it flowed together. The tide of the villains started breaking. Watching the massive melee, Roulette sat on her balcony sipping a martini.
Party's over, Toots.
Your superhuman fighting ring ends tonight, Roulette. We're bringing you in.
God, sounds like him.
Him?
My deadbeat of a dad, Terry Sloan, the real Mr. Terrific.
Oh, man. What a plot twist.
I never met him. He died long before I put on the mask.
Yet you parade around with this mantra like you get what it meant.
I know what it means, and I respect it. I try to live up to it every damn day.
You can't. You're not his son, you're not a student, you're just some nobody who wanted to play dress up. So you can take his legacy, while the people he left behind got jack shit.
Look, I'm off for family therapy, but let's maybe cut it off until the hundreds of losers are down.
Do you know what it's like? To have everyone praise a dead man when you know the truth? This whole fair play mantra didn't extend to his own damn family.
If he failed you, I'm sorry. But the ring isn't proving anything except how you let down your father's memory.
No, it proves the truth. The world isn't fair. It's a game. There are winners and there are losers. And the house, my house, always wins.
She stepped close to Mr. Terrific, taking off her sunglasses to look the man in the eye. She then brandished a pin-shaped dagger, holding it to his neck.
And you? You're just another player who thinks the odds don't apply to him.
That may be true, and I have no problem rewriting the rules.
Unflinching from the dagger, he punched Roulette in the face, dropping her to the ground with a thud.
Wow, your power really is balls.
After the rest of the lesser villains were defeated, the authorities were called in to take them into custody, plus Roulette and the gambler. Meanwhile, the house itself was burned to the ground as a result of B's fury. Later, back at the JLI embassy, the team sat around the dining room table eating Chinese food from a place called Chang Tzu's Egg Foo, when Mr. Terrific walked out to join them.
I can't believe you arrested the beautiful Vanna White without me.
Huh? What? No, we... You know what? Yeah. Sorry you couldn't get an autograph.
And finally, someone came out of his cave.
Would you like some orange chicken, Mr. Terrific? I think it's orange chicken, if I can find the receipt.
Thank you, Tora.
What brings our fearless leader out?
A very wise man once told me, to lead a team, you have to know a team. And if I'm to know you all, fair play dictates you get to know me too.
Sounds wise indeed.
Very.
Written by John Keller. Directed by Connor Dilworth and John Keller. Featuring the voice talents of Friendly Medic VA as Mr. Terrific, Dominic M.R. Trevino as Jay Garrick, Grayson Luther as Guy Gardner, Elongated Man, and Dan Garrett, Alex Derrickson as Blue Beetle, Lily Pierce as Ice and Roulette, Connor Dilworth as Rocket Red, The Gambler, and The Shade, Garen Seho as Booster Gold, Zoe Hebert as Fire, Katrina Clairvoyant as Vixen and Paula Holt, Somewhat Good as Skeets and Blackguard, Smash Trivia John as Carshone, with additional voices provided by AJ, and Brendan McGinley as Roland Gardner and the Phantom Stranger.